scary movie marathon. Bring a VHS from home so we can put her on the big screen, only with the big screens.
Better pop some popcorn and don't forget my Raisinets.
If we party all night, we'll be dead by dawn. Let's just have a scary movie marathon.
The classic coming-of-age story. Sex, rock and roll, and aliens. I'm of course talking about Dr. Alien, the 1989 Descartes film. Full moon streaming, pulling it up. We were watching it. Stars the Jane brothers, Olivia Barish, and other actors. But with me today is Jonah Carmina, a film expert who's here to talk about one of the greatest schlock classics that there is, Dr. Alien. So, glad you're here.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad we're talking about a film this monumental in size and in scope.
You know, I know this is only the second episode, but damn, you really know how to pick good top hitters.
You gotta go front loaded or you're just gonna lose your audience immediately.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to hear me talk about Dr. Alien. That's a fact.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm gonna go for that, and then later on we can go to the ones that people aren't maybe familiar with and give some recommendations that they might be interested in.
Like Rats.
Like Rats.
Yeah. Maybe we won't do a video about Rats.
I'm not going to do one on Rats. That movie's not very good. If you want a quick review of Rats, I'm going to give that one 1.5 out of 5. But anyway, we're not here to talk about Rats. We're here to talk about Dr. Alien. Now, I don't even know where to start with this movie. The acting, the music, the cinematography. What do you want to talk about first?
I think what centers around this film probably the best is that it's a very classic coming-of-age story.
I agree. You know, it's kind of something where at first he starts off as the do-gooder, good grades, does what his parents says, but then kind of over the course of the film he gets more radical and extreme in nature, and that of course culminates in the beautiful scene which we have displayed behind us right now, the rock and roll scene, Killer Machine, original song for the film.
Yeah.
Performed beautifully on stage by the Sex Mutants. It's a great song, great scene.
Yes.
Just a great time in general.
Yeah, it's actually probably the peak of the film, I would say. It comes very close to the climax, and
And that's when you want the peak.
Yeah.
You want it to peak. You don't want it to peak early. You want it to peak when we're coming down towards the end. But let's go more into the plot here. So obviously we have this student who kind of gets recruited by his teacher to perform some kind of exploratory scientific experiment. That is some kind of serum that is injected into him, which gives him an antenna. And at times, it makes him desirable to women, and, it just makes him cooler in general.
Yeah.
So we've all been there.
Yeah. And just as a little bit of context, in the beginning of the film, it begins with his real teacher getting into a car accident and being chased by a UFO. And the car does a very incredible flip.
It is incredible.
It is incredible. And then that's whenever Dr. Alien is introduced.
Right. And she kind of acts as a sort of mediator for this whole film, as sort of allowing, first of all, the first incident of giving him the serum, which ends up being the main plot of the movie, but then also kind of wrapping it up too by unveiling what the main idea behind all this was, which we're not going to spoil, but it's very interesting, and it really comes together in a satisfying way. I don't know if you had more on that.
No. I was actually thinking that we could jump straight into the costume design for the alien. I think it's very very talented, very out there. I haven't really seen too many aliens look exactly like the alien that's shown. Obviously.
The alien design is fantastic in this film, and it kind of comes about in a moment where you're not really expecting it. You don't think that there's even going to be aliens in this movie for much of it. But then when it does come out, it really does. It satisfies you. It's great.
It's very, very good. Very, does a lot of, good general facial reactions,
Well said.
Yeah.
So obviously the actors are worth mentioning, as we mentioned earlier, Olivia Barsh, who is great actress. I've seen her in Repo Man. I've seen her in this movie. I've seen her in only those 2 films.
Yes, but 2 very notable films.
2 very notable films,
yes.
like 2 career highlights.
I actually heard that Emilio Estevez was actually up for a role in Dr. Alien, but he was actually turned down.
Yeah, and I mean, I would understand because the lead actor is fantastic. He does a great job. And what I like is that his brother, his real-life brother, plays his brother in the film, which is always good.
Yeah.
I always like that.
Immediate chemistry. You could really feel the bond between the 2 brothers.
Now, to go into the cons section of this movie, the parts that we didn't like, mainly, we didn't see enough of the band.
Yeah, awful decision. There should have been way more of the band.
We see, well, they announce the band, and they kind of come into the film at the tail end. Yeah. And they have this great scene where they're at the dinner table with his family, and it's just a remarkable scene, but that's it. Then we have this, where they're playing the song, and then that's it. We don't see them anymore.
No, they're there a little bit.
They show up a little bit for that last act, but
nothing too... I really wanted to get to know these characters, and I felt like they were like heading in the right direction, but they really should have zoned in a little bit more.
For characters that come in the last half hour of the film, they really steal the show, and it makes you wonder what it would have been like if they had been there the whole time. Look at how free he is in this scene.
Yeah, pretty free.
So, that would be an arc coming full circle.
Yeah. So we talked a lot about the band, but what do you think about the whole score in general?
The score in general is great. From a musical standpoint, it's fantastic. From a listener standpoint, it's fantastic. I mean, really like those lovely synths, that nice little bass drum that they kick in with the delay pedal. It's great.
Now, what's your opinion on the like almost cartoony sound effects?
Oh, well, that's ideal.
Yes.
I think, I've always said this, the best types of films use cartoon sound effects. You see it a lot. Mm-hmm. You see it in films like Pulp Fiction, like Ghoulies, like Shawshank Redemption, and just those are just to name big name films. We're naming schlock films. Yeah, we're talking Ghoulies 3, Ghoulies Go to College. That's a big one.
Yeah, big one.
That one's almost Three Stooges-esque, but I've actually received complaints last time because my last one was about the critters, and I brought up the Ghoulies like 5 times. They weren't relevant, but I kept bringing them up, and I actually got a lot of hate mail about that. So I shouldn't bring up Ghoulies this time. This is a Ghoulie-free episode.
Yes.
But it is a great film, and you should watch all 4 of those films.
I think the parents are of note.
The parents are of note.
Because throughout the film, you kind of think that they're like very one-sided characters, and then eventually later on you find out that the father was a singer as well.
Yeah.
And it actually brings the father and son relationship even closer, and you wouldn't even think that from the way the film starts.
So what I like about the film is the arcs they are relevant. Like when they set up something, it does get that closure. Almost every single thing in this film gets that closure.
Yes.
Which I like because I've seen plenty of films that just likes to start arcs, and it's just fun little things, and then they never really go anywhere. Maybe one big one does, and they think that's enough. But this film, it starts a lot of little things, and they all get closure.
Yeah.
Like with the parents.
Yeah.
That's a great example of that.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I'd like to mention that Linnea Quigley is in this movie, playing just kind of a background character. Like, she shows up in his dreams one time, and then she's in the band later. That's weird, because Linnea Quigley at this point had already been in Return of the Living Dead. She had already been in Sorority Babes in the Slimeball Bowl-orama. She'd already been in Creepazoids. This is kind of an interesting move to have her be in this film and hardly have anything to do. I don't even know if she had speaking lines in this film. I think she may have had one or 2.
No, I don't think she had any at all.
Yeah, so that's worth noting on its own, because why did they have her in this movie for that? So I don't know if you wanted to give a star rating to this, or if you needed some time to think about it.
After considering the movie, I've seen this movie about 3 times now, and each time it's just gotten better and better. So I really think a solid 4.5 for this film. 4.5 out of 5.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, you just got great acting.
Yeah.
You got great music. Like you
Yeah.
said, the band seems great.
Yeah, and almost a full music video, which is always a good thing.
You got the best movies use full music videos. Like again, Shawshank Redemption, Pulp Fiction. These movies come to mind as being films that they're serious. They're films that are meant to be taken seriously. But then they let you have some fun. They let you have a full music video.
Yeah.
And this is one of those. But yeah, I have to agree. 4.5 out of 5 for me easily. This is a great film for everybody, really.
Yeah.
The most serious moviegoer can watch this and have something to enjoy, and the people who are fans of more schlocky entertainment, there's plenty here to enjoy. My schlock meter is hitting at a 5 out of 5. This is a full schlock classic. This is one that, it's really going to stick with you for a while. And even if it doesn't, give it a month, give it 2 months, and you're going to want to come back to it and give it another shot. So that's when a film really caught your attention and did its job right.
Yeah.
Join back, next time. And, I'll be here. I'll be talking about schlock classics. I'll be talking about new schlock film. I'll be talking about everything in between. And I'm going to have Jonah back here pretty soon, and we're going to do a full Leprechaun retrospective.
Yes. This will be a much longer video, much more in-depth. A lot for your real hardcore schlock fans.
And for your hardcore Leprechaun fans, or Warwick Davis fans, or just fans of Irish entertainment.
Yeah.
From Schlock Reviews, this is Feck and Jonah Carmina, and we are saying goodbye for now, but we'll be back soon.
Yes.
It's a scary movie marathon. It's a scary